Does jumping at them with my fists count as ranged? Yes! Finally! Everything is coming up Veronica. Grenade!
You'll pay for that! Had enough?
If I die...
The Kaiser is marked. The Kaiser has marked you for death, and the... Hey! Another kill on you! You like that?
You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you? Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress? Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
Welcome to the Grub and Gulp. Sure thing. Anything else I can do for you? Thanks. Sure. I think there are a few places, but I've heard that the gun runners sell the best. Dr. Usanagi runs a medical clinic. How may I serve you, master?
You need water? I got water. If you're low... Glad... Another satisfied customer. The NCR fixed up the... If we have a water license, of course. Still, it beats the inconvenience of having to... There's a few independent ones like me, but it's mostly the big trading outfits that deal in water, like the Crimson Caravan Company. The Crimson Caravan Company's the big dog around here. Keep following the road north. They won't just let anybody into the strip, but you should be able to have a good time in Freeside itself. Just, keep a close eye on your caps. There are a bunch of crazies hopped up on all kind of drugs. Apparently, they're using one of the old vaults as a hideout. The army should really get in there and wipe them all out, but I guess they've got more than enough trouble to deal with right now. Their main base is right over there by the old airport. It's called Camp McCarran now. Some people like to paint them all as a bunch of bullies. Me? I'm glad they're around. All right.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
Welcome back. Glad to...
So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell.
Pleasure doing business with you. Until next.
Ooh, got something good for me? Is it a dress?
It's been a long tour. All I can think about now is going back home.
Nice job out there.
Howdy.
Bang, 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 bang!
Looking for a fix, man? I got what you need. Have a look, babe. Howdy. If you're looking for guns, talk to Mick. Otherwise, I've got a nice selection of general supply.
Traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15.
Welcome to Mick and Ralph's. If you need for
Patrons of the Ultralux are questioning whether it's pricey
Why?
restaurants that
Do you
go
work for one of the
is
casinos?
overstating the fullness of its wait list. Those
In that,
who claim to have
follow
dined
me.
at the restaurant find the food appealing, but say many tables remain empty. Promotional consideration
Like I always say, a polite society is an armed society. Hey, welcome back. Sure. Like I always say. Welcome back. Pleasure doing business with you. Come.
Hey, what can I get you?
Lord, no, I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of will it ever destroy this odd
Thanks.
diversity of
Folks, this is Mr. New Vegas, and I have a good feeling about all of you listening. Here are our top stories.
How's it going?
Traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangerous...
Welcome to Mick and Ralph's. If you for general supply.
In addition,
Things were better when the Omertas were buying, but we get by. Good selection from traders, and the Van Graffs keep things running.
fullness of its wait list. Those who
That's the thing. I have no idea. They just stopped buying guns all of a sudden. If you hear anything, let me know.
consideration for this news program has been paid for by the Ultralux. The Ultralux.
Anything else I can help?
In the lap of luxury. And now, I'd like to play
Why?
one of my very favorite songs for you.
Like I always say, Welcome back.
If you're looking for guns, talk to Mick. Otherwise,
Traders from California are being turned
I only
away
offer
from
services
Mojave
if the
Outpost
king
where
gives
the
the okay.
NCR is
Impress him
concerned
and we can
about
talk.
dangers along Nipton Highway, and
If you haven't heard of the king,
You know
you
they
must have
say
been
that
living under a
guns
rock
are
or
guns,
something.
but I think my
The king has
brother
his
would
boys
be
all over
awfully
Freeside.
dull.
He controls the water pump and is essentially the go-to guy for what goes
I'd like
around
to
here.
play one of my very favorite songs for you.
All right. Yeah, I've got a little side business going. What I'm about to share with you does not leave this room, huh? Over the years, I've gradually perfected my craft to the point of perfection. No one can distinguish between my... What I'm referring to is passports. If you've got the caps, I can whip up a strip passport which will fool even the most well-trained eye. Hey, if you're interested and have the caps, they go for 500. Any less, and it ain't worth the risk of getting caught. What do you say? No problem. Here you go. Give me a shout if you need anything else. What do you... If you haven't heard of the... The king has his boys all over Freeside. He controls the water pump. They're the local energy weapon dealers in Freeside. When it comes to lasers and plasma, they're the only game in town, and they keep it that way. Gloria's men are the best armed in Freeside and ruthless to boot. But her brother, Jean-Baptiste Cutting, their joint is the only place in Freeside to get it all under one roof. They've got gambling, booze, chems, and whores. They're good folks, just don't cross them. They're known for tidying up loose ends with a bullet to the brain box. Anything else?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Give me a shout if you need anything else. Come back.
Hey, what can I get you?
Until the moment we met, I had no one to cling to be just everything to be my own true love. If this is a dream, let me keep on dreaming.
Come back. Yep.
I've had worse. Does jumping at them with my fists count as ranged? Yes! But you're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
McLafferty's been ratting asses again. Better lay low. Mormon caravan from New Canaan came through the other day. Keep an eye out for wildlife.
Hey there. Here's the rest of the payment I promised you back in Good Springs. Alice McLafferty runs the Crimson Caravan. You can find her over in the main office. I'm getting ready to run a caravan up towards Utah. There's a town called New Canaan, which is supposed to be pretty prosperous. The Crimson Caravan doesn't have any branches out that way. I'll see you.
What's up?
Welcome to the Crimson Caravan Company New Vegas branch. What may I do for you? Certainly. What would you like to know? Well, the gunrunners continue to dominate the weapons market, and the Mormon traders from New Canaan control the majority of the northern routes. The Crimson Caravan Company has been in business for over 130 years. We're partially responsible for the progress in the NCR. Normally, I oversee company operations at the hub in California. However, the New Vegas branch has been underperforming in recent years. Given the conditions here, it's not hard to see why. I'll change all that soon enough. All right. I'm afraid we have no current openings for caravanners or guards, but I am in need of a runner. Deliver this invoice to Dr. Hildern. You can find him somewhere inside Camp McCarran. It's been a pleasure.
McLafferty's a hard boss, but she knows what she's doing, that's for sure.
Looking for a fix, man?
You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. New Vegas here. You're all so great, and we're gonna keep you listening all day. More news
You're making me carry the heavy stuff, aren't you?
Hostage crisis between the NCR and the great cause was resolved peacefully when a third-party negotiator successfully
Ooh, got something good for me?
his release. Also,
Hey, what can I get you?
continues to climb around Camp Forlorn Hope.
Take a game.
Where Legion raiding parties are still chipping away at the NCR's hold south of the dam. Boy, the Mojave Wasteland is just a fascinating place, isn't it? You never know what's going to happen next. Got a song for you now. It's about a guy who's cold on the exterior, but deep
Welcome
down,
back.
you know, he's a good man. And his name is Johnny Guitar.
Like I always say, a polite...
Hey.
They call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar.
The women of New Vegas ask me a lot if there's a Mrs. New Vegas. Well, of course there is. You're her. And you're still as perfect as the day we met. Here are our top stories. Scavengers report hulking individuals moving around Hidden Valley after dusk, but have been unable to identify them due to low visibility. In addition, traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. You know they say that no news is good news, but I think my program would be awfully dull if that were the case. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
I got spurs that jingle, jingle, jingle. Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs. Stop by Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs, sir.
And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell. Though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fell. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle. 'Cause I go right merrily along. They sing, oh,
The bodyguards at the gates aren't so bad, except that Morris guy. That bastard wants his mouth a little too much.
What's going on?
What do we have here? Another petitioner for the king? Who's the king? You believe this, asshole man? In Freeside, the kings rule. And the king rules the king. Got it?
Hey.
Lasers, plasma, pistols, grenade. You want to get your hands on some of the deadliest weapons around? Head just down the street to this Silver Rush.
Welcome to the Silver Rush. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to search you before letting you in. The only weapons allowed on the premises are the ones we're... It should only take a moment. There, I've stored all of your weapons. You're clear to enter. When you leave, I'll hand them all back to you.
The bosses are having a meeting. You'll have to wait until it's over.
Mr. Soren, please get to the point. The second half of your payment...
Like that.
Mr. Soren, please get to the point. The second half of your payment is late, and I want to know why.
Miss Van Graff, my associates and I have decided that we wish to renegotiate the terms of
Mr. Soren, please get to the point. The second half of your payment is late, and I want to know why.
Miss Van Graff, my associates and I have decided that we wish to renegotiate the terms of our deal.
Might I ask for what reason? The shipment was delivered. The guns were tested before leaving this facility.
Regardless, we feel that the quality of the weapons is below expectation. We hope to adjust the price accordingly.
Ah, I think I understand what the issue here is. Excuse me for a moment, would you? Do it.
To the town of our free road to one fine day.
Never break faith with the Van Graffs, Mr. Soren. I expect you'll have the rest of our payment ready tomorrow morning.
No one dared to ask his business.
Okay, everyone. Show's over. Back to work.
A stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip.
Welcome to the Silver Rush, where only top-of-the-line energy weapons can be found. What can I do for you?
When he rode into the town.
Of course.
He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24.
Holy-
And the notches
Welcome
on
to the
his
Silver
pistol
Rush.
numbered 1 in 19 more. 1 in 19 more.
It just so happens a position opened up recently.
Now the
We currently
stranger
need another
started
body to
talking,
guard the
made it
entrance
plain
outside.
to folks
Think you can
around.
handle that?
Was in Arizona, Ranger wouldn't be too
Please
long
let-
in town.
Hell, that's a lot of energy weapons. Guess we dropped the ball on that one.
Taken outlaw, back alive, or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red.
Welcome to the Silver
After
Rush,
Texas
New Vegas'
Red.
best source of laser and plasma weapons.
Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry men that tried before a day. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about.
You look new to Freeside, so here's a little advice, friend. Don't go past the Southgate greeter without talking to it
There was
first.
40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play.
The name's Old Ben. I've been living in Freeside since the day I was born. I've done a bit of everything around here. Courier, butcher, crier, escort, gun for hire. Some of which I'm not proud of, but I do my best to help around town when needed.
It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round.
Exactly one of the reasons I got out of that job. Too many shifty characters looking to have someone else move their hot items.
Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the
All right.
ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron
Those
on his
bots are
hip.
programmed to vaporize anyone who enters the fenced-in area without authorization from the greeter.
Big iron, when he tried to match
Some
the
of which-
ranger with the big iron on his
My
hip.
father ran a butcher shop here in town, but business went downhill when another vendor started selling this strange meat at half our prices. You're telling me, not long after my father's shop went under and he passed away from the loss, people around town started experiencing shakes. No one gets shakes like that unless they're eating human flesh, but no one would believe me. The sick bastard gradually went insane and passed away. Wasn't long before someone moved into the guy's place and found half-buried human remains in the crawl space. I didn't bother saying "told you so." After a while, I made enough money to get a passport into Vegas. Back then, you could get approved for entry for a fraction of what it costs now. Well, I got a job working as a crier outside of the Tops, advertising for the local talent performing at the casino. Well, being a suave young guy, I chatted up the ladies from time to time, and one of the manager's girls started to take a liking to me. I never touched the woman, but the jealous prick decided it was my time to go. He framed me by saying I'd stolen from the casino. Sure enough, a few grand was missing from the casino vault. I have to assume the bastard stole the funds and figured I was a convenient fall guy.
I heard somebody whisper, please adore me.
Yeah, but what can you do? I was stripped of my casino apartment and all of my belongings and booted back into Freeside. From there, I didn't have a lot of career options, as my rep was destroyed. So the escort job sort of fell into my lap. No pun intended.
Without a love of my own.
Well, I suppose you could look at it that way, but I was packing a whole different kind of heat. No, escort just sounds better than man whore. Yep, I was damn good at my job too. But after a while, I just felt like a piece of meat and had to quit. When I quit the escort job, I had enough money to buy a pistol belt and some other gear. Bodyguards make a good, honest living, and I had the wits and physical build to handle most thugs. After saving a few tourists from trouble, I got a reputation for being a stand-up guy again, and after a decade, managed to save up enough to retire. Oh.
And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold.
Submit to a credit check or present your passport before proceeding to the gate. Trespassers will be shot. Admission to the strip requires an official passport or proof that you are carrying the required minimum balance. These policies prevent less reputable persons from entering and ensure a good time will be had by all who enter the strip. Thank you, sir. You may proceed.
You're listening to Radio New Vegas, your little jukebox in the Mojave Wasteland. I am Mr. New Vegas, and I'm here for you. More news for you. NCR officials at Camp McCarran were relieved when technical difficulties with its monorail line to the New Vegas Strip proved easy to fix. One anonymous official told us a serious mechanical failure would have been a disaster because of the age of the train and the scarcity of the replacement parts. Also in the headlines, traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. You know they say that no news is good news, but I think my program would be awfully dull if that were the case. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
That's it.
Howdy, partner. You've come for a piece, haven't you? Welcome to New Vegas. Consider me your personal welcome wagon. Now hear this. The head honcho of New Vegas, Mr. House, is itching to make your acquaintance. Just head for the Lucky 38. It's the big old tower shaped like a roulette spinner. Yeah, partner. That's the spirit. He'll be waiting for you.
Hey, keep moving.
Well, howdy, partner. Good to see you again.
As though it were now or never. Teach me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me
Where to, partner? Penthouse floor.
Goodbye.
As though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me.
This meeting has been a long time coming, hasn't it? You've come a long ways, literally, and I suspect figuratively as well. I have to ask, now that you've reached your destination, what do you make of what you see? You aren't going to ramble on about the virtues of life out in the wastes, are you? It's a desert, you do realize. A radioactive desert where humans subsist in a barbaric state. Difficult to glorify convincingly. They are, however, aptly named. For that's what you'd be out there, wasted. Here on the Strip, your talents can be put to use.
The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
Oh, don't be coy. You've been playing a high-stakes game ever since Victor dug you out of the ground. Don't be afraid to admit it. You are the first person to step foot inside the Lucky 38 in over 200 years. We have a serious matter to discuss concerning a contract you have yet to fulfill. The business is this. One of my employees has stolen an item of extraordinary value from me, and I want it recovered. Simple enough. My only concern is the recovery of the platinum chip. What happens to Benny, I leave to your discretion. When you bring the chip to me, I will pay you 4 times the delivery bonus stipulated in your contract. How's that?
Was in Arizona, Ranger wouldn't be too long in town.
What did you wish to know?
Here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead, and he said it didn't matter.
It won't be easy. Benny is always surrounded by at least 4 bodyguards, except when he's in his private suite on the 13th floor of the Tops.
But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before a day.
If you were to approach Benny in public, you might be able to leverage his fear of exposure to make him agree to meet with you in private.
Big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
Sneaking into Benny's suite on the 13th floor would be very difficult, but not impossible. There might be guards. Certainly there'd be a sturdy lock on his front door.
Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath.
It's more complicated than that. The chairmen share what you might call a tribal affinity. Look for a man named Swank, Benny's second-in-command. He's always been a reliable, if unimaginative, employee. Do your best to convince him that you're working under my auspices. If you have evidence of Benny's crimes, show it to him.
And the Ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
By contract, Securitrons are to enter the casinos only when invited by the 3 families, or if other extraordinary circumstances arise. The moment I send one into the Tops, Benny will know I'm on to him.
Oh, he might have went on living.
What else did you want to know?
When he tried to match the Ranger with the big iron on his
Benny has led the chairman ever since I recruited his tribe 7 years ago. Until his recent misbehavior, I planned to make him my protege. Maybe if I'd begun grooming him sooner, none of this would have happened.
big iron on his
To achieve my aims, I require a capable human agent to perform certain tasks. I knew Benny was ambitious, even ruthless, but I believed he would do the job so long as he was incentivized appropriately. Obviously, I miscalculated his drive for supremacy, but in any case, you've come along, a more than suitable replacement.
General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be president.
Why didn't Victor intervene sooner, you mean? Good Springs is a bit too far away for me to reliably control a Securitron agent by remote. I can send and receive packets of data at best. Victor's combat algorithms determined the proper course of action. Benny and his thugs were more than a match for a lone Securitron. When he alerted me, I instructed him to approach the site after Benny and the others had departed. I have to think that he found out about the platinum chip and mistakenly convinced himself that he could use it to his own ends. One of the problems of a tribal workforce, I'm afraid. No intuitive understanding of how complex technologies can be. What else? As I said before, Benny's fate is yours to decide. Once you've delivered the chip, I will pay you the amount agreed upon. Well enough. Return to me when you have the platinum chip in your possession. Any final matters for us to discuss?
Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat above the board. Lord knows I'm not a fool girl.
Enjoy all the Vegas Strip has to offer.
Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry.
Congratulations, partner. The boss has instructed me to comp you to the high roller suite. You can bring your friends too. Be like a little clubhouse for the gang you put together. Just bear in mind, you're the only one gets to see the boss. Any friends you got, they can wait in the suite. Enjoy the digs, partner. They're plenty fancy. High roller suite. Where to, partner?
Blue moon saw me standing alone.
Casino floor.
Without a dream in my heart.
Where to, partner?
Without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there's some you appeared before me, the only one my arms will hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked,
Enjoy your time in Vegas.
now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
Hey, you there. I have a message for you. It's from Ambassador Crocker. Very important. Here you go.
Then there suddenly appeared before me, the only one my arms will ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
The women of New Vegas ask me a lot if there's a Mrs. New Vegas. Well, of course there is. You're her. And you're still as perfect as the day we met. This just in. The death toll continues to climb around Camp Forlorn Hope, where Legion raiding parties are still chipping away at the NCR's hold south of the dam. One more story for you. Refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. The news has been brought to you by the Vicky and Vance Casino. Vicky and Vance, be our partners in crime. Got a song for you now. It's about a guy who's cold on the exterior, but deep down, you know, he's a good man. And his name is Johnny Guitar.
Play the guitar, play it again, my Johnny. Maybe you're cold, but you're so warm inside. I was always a fool for my Johnny, for the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar. What if you go? What if you stay? like the one they call Johnny Guitar. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar.
This is Radio New Vegas, and I'm your host, Mr. New Vegas. And in case you're wondering if you've come to the right place, you have. More news for you. The Black Mountain radio signal is back after a long absence. Listeners say the new programming is, quote, less for outcasts, more for weirdos. Moving on. NCR Correctional Facility is now under prisoner control following a successful riot. Locals should avoid anyone who looks like they've done time. We'll have more news for you at the top of the hour. You know, sometimes the journey beats the destination, and especially if your spurs go jingle, jangle, jingle, and you meet some nice gals along the way.
That's crazy.
I thought nobody has ever been inside that place.
That one must be important around here.
Check that out. He just left a lucky 38.
Damn, and he
Come
looks
on,
good to me
time to
too.
get lucky. Just lost a month's caps.
Looking to lose a few caps, huh? Just a place.
Dancing makes me sweat all over. Dancing makes me sweat all over. You like it? You like it, huh?
Hey there, friend. A bit of advice. You look like you could use some protection. Lucky for you, I got what you need. My stock and trade? All kinds of easy-to-hide weapons for slipping into and out of casinos. They won't give you a second glance. Things guards can't spot when they're patting you down or checking for eye in a trinket. Simple. You can't bring guns into the casino, that's why. They'll strip you to your fists. Sure, they say you get it all back when you leave. Me? I don't like being without a little insurance. Take...
You know you want a piece of this. Give me some sugar.
It's hard to sleep in this place, I tell you. Last night some girl was pounding on my door all night.
Though I may have done some good, this is why I never cry. I got spurs that jingle, I got spurs that jingle, as I go right merrily along. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad? And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Ain't so very far from
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much for listening. All the latest news coming your way right now.
You look like you just crawled out of the desert.
Citizens of Outer Vegas are flocking to the Strip in droves amid a wave of terror caused by a band of raiders known as the Fiends. Those who can afford passports are saying the added security is well worth the price of admission. In other news, Prem formally swore...
Welcome to the NCR Embassy. How can I help you? Ambassador Crocker can be found in his office through the door to my right and at the end of the hall.
Be good, or I'll shoot you dead.
The embassy offices are to your left, while the barracks and living quarters are to the right. If you're looking for a history lesson, I suggest you talk to Ambassador Crocker. Ambassador Crocker can be found in his office through the door to my right and at the end of the hall.
But you shouldn't, because it's a sin to tell a lie.
I don't have time to give my life story to everyone that passes through. Is there something I...
Be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie. Millions of hearts have been broken just because
Morning.
these words were spoken. I love you.
Help you?
Yes, I do. I love you. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
To tell a lie.
Sir?
Be sure it's true when you say I love
Morning.
you, honey. Call. You got sense enough to know it's a sin to tell
I'm glad you could make it. I have something I wanted to discuss with you. It's a very important matter, and I have a strong feeling you're the perfect person for the job. I'm sure you've noticed that things are a little tense around here with all the issues between the NCR, the Legion, and Mr. House. It doesn't take a genius to see that something big is going to happen soon. To be honest with you, the NCR is in a tight spot. But if we fail now, it's the people here that are going to suffer the most. I'm not willing to let that happen, and I don't think you're the kind of person that would either.
So be sure it's true.
To the northeast is a settlement. The locals here call them boomers. They are sitting on a munitions stockpile that would be invaluable to us. I would like you to get in contact with them, and then do whatever it takes to convince them to help us. Unfortunately, the boomers keep to themselves and are, let's say, hostile to all outsiders. That's why I need someone like you. Someone with your background and reputation would have a better chance of reaching them than anyone I have available. In exchange for your help, you would receive complete amnesty for any past crimes against the NCR, as well as additional benefits and perks. Do you think you would be able to do this for me? Much appreciated. Once you've talked to them, come back and let me know if they will help us.
The gourmand is overstating the fullness of its wait list. Those who claim to have dined at the restaurant find the food appealing, but say many tables.
Thanks for doing this. Remember, we need their resources to help us in the upcoming battle. Do whatever it takes.
Power plant remains dormant despite
Goodbye.
NCR's effort to reactivate the facility. The chief scientist at the plant vowed to fix the problem, blaming it on an atmosphere of, quote, severe underappreciation. The preceding segment was sponsored by the Silver Rush. Silver Rush. Feel the rush of a warm laser in your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, "Poke, ain't got a hole in the boat. My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning.
Fucking Crocker couldn't find his ass if it wasn't on his back.
My life is gonna be beautiful. I spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Said, ain't that a kick in the head?
Be advised, the Lucky 38 is not open to the general public. Trespassers will be shot.
My head keeps spinning. Just the beginning. My life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wet. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better. All I'd be said. Tell me quick. Oh, ain't love a kick. Tell me quick. Ain't love a kick in the head.
Sleep, go to sleep. Just lay down your weary head. Dream, sweetly dream. Dream about tomorrow instead. Sleep, go to sleep. Whispering a lullaby.
Come to Mick and Ralph's for all your shopping needs.
Dream, sweetly dream.
We've got stuff we're not even allowed to.
Swinging with the man in the moon. Why don't you go and take it slow? And don't you know?
Hello.
All your lovely dreams will come true. So just close your eyes. A sweet lullaby. Sleep softly, sleep, and let the world go by.
When an irresistible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me, you can bet just as sure as you live, something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. When an irrepressible smile such as yours warms an old implacable heart such as mine, don't say no, 'cause I insist. Somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna get kissed. So on guard, who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long can anyone try? Fight, 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 fight it with all of our might.
star-spangled night. We'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
Welcome back to the program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I hope I'm not coming on too strong. If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment. Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge to the northwest. If you should find it, do not, repeat, do not belittle a super mutant for taking the bunny slope. In addition, Prem formally sworn a new sheriff today. RNV reporters were on hand to hear the new sheriff address the crowd.
Whoa there, pal. You better slow down, or you'll get blown up like the rest of the idiots who thought they'd scavenge in rumor territory. Now that I've got your attention, might you be interested in a little information? It'll cost you, but it's well worth the investment.
Play one of my very favorite songs for you.
Whoa, simmer down. I'll tell you, I'm a gambler and a scavenger. I've made some cash from gambling and some cash from reclaiming goods that are no longer being used. Now, do you want my help or not? Oh, lordy, lordy. You haven't heard of the boomers? What rock have you been living under? They're a bunch of artillery-slinging, grenade-lobbing odd jobs camping out in Nellis. Wander into their territory and you're as good as mincemeat. There is a way, and I'll tell you, for a little wager. Well, I know the secret to get past. If you give me the caps, I'll tell you. If you make it back alive, I'll double your money. Okay, here you go. That page has the details, but it's all in the timing as you move from building to building. I'll be here watching, so I'll know if you've made it to the gate or not. Remember, there's 600 caps in it if you make it.
Softly sleep and let the world go by. When an irresistible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me,
You can bet just as sure as you live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. When an irrepressible smile such as yours warms an old implacable heart such as mine, don't say no, 'cause I insist. Somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna get kissed. So on guard, who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long can anyone try? Fight, 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 fight it with all of our might. Chances are some heavenly star-spangled night we'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
Welcome back to the program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I hope I'm not coming on too strong. Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. Patrons of the ultra-lux are questioning whether its pricey restaurant, the Gourmand, is overstating the full.
Whoa there, pal. You better slow down. Now, well, I've made some cash from gambling and some cash from...
In the headlines, rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge to the northwest.
Oh, Lordy. There are a bunch of artillery... There is a way. Well, I know the secret to get past. If you make it back alive, I'll...
Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
Mad about the boy. I know it's stupid to be mad about the boy. I'm so ashamed of it, but must admit the sleepless nights I've had about the boy. On a silver screen, he melts my foolish heart. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of knows I'm not a fool, girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of fair. Will it ever cloy this odd diversity of misery? Had about the boy. On silver screen, he melts my foolish heart. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat about the really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm I've had about the boy on silver screen. He melts my foolish heart. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool, girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of fair. Will it ever I've had about the boy on silver screen. He melts my foolish heart in single scene. Though I've had about the boy on silver screen. He melts my foolish heart. About the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool, girl. I really I've had about the boy on silver screen. He melts my foolish heart though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool, girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl. melts my foolish heart. I've had about the boy on silver screen. He melts my foolish heart. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of fair. Will it ever cloy this odd diversity of misery and joy? I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I've had about the boy on silver screen. He melts my foolish heart. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of her first fair. Will it ever cloy this odd diversity of misery and I've had about the boy on silver screen. He melts my foolish heart with every single scene. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool girl. In the flurry of I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I'm mad about the boy. bless my foolish heart in every single scene. Although I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of sad about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool, girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of despair. Will it ever cloy this odd diversity of misery and joy? I'm feeling quite insane and young again, and all because I'm mad about the boy. Mad about the boy.
If it can be bought, it can be found at Nick and Ralph's.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the fellow once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wed. She's picked out a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, oh, ain't love a kick? Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head?
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. Now the news. Prem formally sworn a new sheriff today. RNV reporters were on hand to hear the new sheriff address the crowd.
Howdy do, folks. I'm Sheriff Myers. Be good, or I'll shoot you dead.
Also, the death toll continues to climb around Camp Forlorn Hope, where Legion raiding parties are still chipping away at the NCR's hold south of the dam. That's the news. This is Mr. New Vegas filling in for Mr. New Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
Move along.
As though there were no tomorrow. Take me out of this world tonight.
Hey, no one but Omertas are allowed to carry guns into Gomorrah. Check your weapons with me.
Make me forget my sorrow.
You'll get these back on.
So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never.
Welcome to Gomorrah. How can I help you?
Teach me all that a heart should know.
How many? How many?
Love me.
Is there? How many chips?
No tomorrow.
Here's your chips.
My darling, love me.
Have a good.
Don't ever let me go.
Holy shit, you been in Lucky 38? You meet the overboss in there?
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go. I've got heartaches by the number, a love that I can't win. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end.
I tell you, not at home is gonna have his day.
I never knew I could hurt this way. And heartache number 2 was made.
fuck not at home. Must be cozy up there in Lucky 38.
Gamora is always open for business.
Every day you love me less.
Sure, later.
Yes, I've got heartaches by the number. A love that I can't run. But the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end.
Hey, fella, welcome to the Tops Hotel and Casino. I'm gonna have to ask you to hand over any weapons you might be carrying.
Heartache number 3 was when you called me and said that you were
Smooth and easy, just the way I like it. Don't worry, they'll be as safe as kittens to you. Oh, and a friendly word of advice. If you happen to stumble across any weapons during your stay here, well, just don't wear them openly. You dig? Now that we got that little business out of the way, what can I do to make your Tops experience? Relax, baby. The safe is houses. We'll keep them locked up in the bank upstairs right next to the money. Everything your little heart desires, that's what. You like gambling? Hungry? Thirsty? The restaurant's just off the left-hand hall. Or maybe you... Ring-a-ding, baby. Ring-a-ding, baby.
Welcome to the Tops. How can I help you?
Hey, there's the high roller.
Hey, there's the high roller. Hey, there's the high roller. How's it hanging?
Get your drink? Best booze in Vegas.
I dig this crazy slang.
to the Mr. New Vegas show. The show with, in my opinion, which I respect, the best looking audience around. Somebody prove me wrong? Well, you know what that means, folks. Time for some news. Caesar's Legion continues to fortify its position in Nelson, where it remains a constant concern for Camp Forlorn Hope and the nearby town of Novak. One more story for you. Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in a ski lodge to the northwest. If you should find it, do not, repeat, do not belittle a super mutant for taking the bunny slope. Those are our stories for this hour. This is Mr. New Vegas signing off. Just kidding. I'm not going anywhere. My love for you is too strong. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
To the town of our Frida rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was an Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men to try for forward day. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was
Hi there! Good to meet you.
It was 20 past 11 when they
Good
walked out of
question.
the street.
My function is to monitor Mr. House's data network and decode his... Allow me to introduce myself.
They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his
It's what
friend.
Benny always called me. Probably because I'm programmed to be so...
There was 40 feet between them.
He was around here not too long ago. He's probably down on the casino floor now. You can wait for him here if you like.
Texas Red had not cleared leather for a bullet fairly ripped.
This is Benny's workshop. When the tops got renovated, he had this half of the floor blocked off for his own use. I guess you could say it's my entire world. I don't think I've ever left this. Oh, he had some help. A lady friend of his. She said something about living in a fort over in Freeside. But that's all I remember. Sure. Benny had me look at it a bunch of times. It's a data storage device, kind of like a holotape, but a lot more advanced. As for what's on it, well, some of Mr. House's data transmissions made it sound like the chip could upgrade his defenses somehow. That's just a guess, though. The chip's a proprietary format. You need special hardware to read the data on it. There are 2 locations with non-standard hardware on the network. The Lucky 38 and an underground facility at Fortification Hill. I'd look there! Oh! He wants to kill Mr. House and use the Platinum chip to copy my neurocomputational matrix onto the Lucky 38's mainframe. That should give me control over all Mr. House's defenses, most prominently his Securitrons. And then I just do what Benny tells me. Easy peasy! Sure! If the chip could be used to reset administrator privileges, it'll be super easy.
My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning.
Then I'd have to help you. I mean, it seems pretty obvious Benny wouldn't want me to, but hey, not my fault I can't say no. Again, goal number 1 is to eliminate Mr. House and install my neurocomputational matrix on the Lucky 38's mainframe. Given how you're a new arrival, I also recommend that you get to know some of the region's tribes, so you can decide how you feel about them. By the time you finished up all of that, the Legion should be close to attacking Hoover Dam, and we'll execute the last phase of the plan. It makes me feel really dumb to admit this, but I don't actually know. I've never been inside the Lucky 38. Mr. House is in there, though. It's the central node of his entire network. You have? Wow, that's amazing. You can murder Mr. House whenever you want. I mean, Benny was always scheming about how he was going to get into the Lucky 38, but you already took care of that. Wow. The other thing you're going to need is the Platinum chip. You know, the one Benny killed a courier for over near Good Springs. I knew he was carrying the Platinum chip, and I knew right where Benny should wait for him. That's why Benny put me here, to monitor Mr. House's data transmission. They're all encrypted, of course, but I'm quite a decryptor. Did you know that Mr. House spent 812,545 pounds hiring salvage teams to find the Platinum chip? Just in the last year alone? Of course you didn't. Or that there were 7 couriers, but 6 of them were carrying junk. How about their exact routes and the mercenary teams that screened them? I knew all that. Pretty soon.
Look for it on holotape.
I know that's not true, because you still have a head.
Caesar's Legion continues to fortify its position in Nelson.
That's not funny, you get. I really shouldn't have taken so much pride in how I set that up, huh? I feel really bad. Benny carries it with him at all times. I think he's paranoid that someone might want to take it from him. The platinum chip is the key to overriding and exploiting Mr. House's defenses. Did I just say exploiting? That's... I'd take it straight to Mr. House if I were you. He'll think you're helping him out. Then, when he's not looking, kapow! The big question is whether to give him the chip before you do him in. He's the one who'll know exactly what to do with it after all. He might upgrade his defensive capabilities right away, or even unlock new ones. But then those defensive upgrades might make it harder for you to finish him off. Hard to say. It's up to you. Let me know when it's done and I'll roll over to the Lucky 38. If I'm right about the chip, I should be able to install myself on House's mainframe. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna help you accomplish...
Without a dream in my heart, without a love of my
Oh no, I didn't mean that. Who needs their support? The Securitrons will be all the support you need. What I meant is, you should get to know these tribes and decide which ones you like and which you don't. You know, shape the future of Vegas. Choose your neighbors. If you like a tribe, leave it alone. Or, if a tribe is nasty, or going to be a problem, go ahead and exterminate it. It's whatever you want to do. Right. It's one of 2 locations on Mr. House's network with non-standard hardware. My guess is it has a reader that can decode the chip. And who knows what else, maybe a giant robot or something.
Without a dream in my heart, without a love of
my
own.
That's the data on that. Neat. Let me know what you find out. There's a bunch. Some of them you've already met, like the chairman, for instance. I think you should visit the other families on this strip, the Omertas and the White Glove Society, so you know what makes them tick. And there are some important groups farther from the strip, too, like the Boomers, the Great Khans, and the Brotherhood of Steel. They must be a really nasty people. I haven't heard a single good thing about them. They fire artillery on anyone who comes near their settlement at Nellis Air Force Base. Talk about rude. If they can be convinced to fire those big cannons at the Legion, or NCR though, well, that'd be neat, wouldn't it? Anything else I can help with? The Khans are just... they're a dirty people. They live in tents like animals, and they're very rude. They've been kicked around a lot, but no one's finished them off. Not yet, anyway. They were one of the tribes the 3 families pushed out of Vegas. A whole bunch got killed. So they settled at Bitter Springs, but they kept being so obnoxious, the NCR had to kill a whole bunch more of them. So then, they settled at Red Rock Canyon. There's just no getting rid of them. Anything else I can... I remember that Benny used to pay a receptionist at Gomorrah for information. Maybe she knows something. Just that Benny didn't like them. He talked on and on about how they couldn't be trusted. He hated their casino, said it was tacky, and he thought they were up to something, because he said they always...
strategic priority, and this move would not be unexpected. Those are our stories for this hour. This is Mr. New Vegas signing off. Just kidding. I'm not going anywhere. My love for you is too strong. And now, I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
Play the guitar, play it again, my Johnny. Maybe you're cold, but you're so warm inside. I was always a fool for my Johnny, for the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar. What if you go? What if you stay? I love you. What if you're cruel? You can be kind, I know. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one
Ring a ding,
they
baby.
call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar.
To the town of our Freer rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play.
How's it hanging? Hey, there's the high roller.
And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today.
The NCR appreciates good citizens like you.
Text is read and not cleared leather.
Ring-a-ding, baby.
And the
How's it
ranger's
hanging?
aim was deadly with
Word
the
is you're getting
iron on
popular
his
on the
hip.
street.
The NCR appreciates good citizens like you.
It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. To the town of our free rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip. And he's here to do some business with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red.
What in the goddamn?
Many men hit
Let's keep this in the groove, hey? Smooth moves, smooth. Hello. The guy everyone saw go in the Lucky 38, that was you? Oh, shit.
Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around.
You want a reason? How about 4? They're called bodyguards, and every one of them is packing. Me too, so baby makes 5. Add to that, every chairman in this joint is armed, and not with some... Anyhow, baby, you didn't come here for vengeance. You came to get clued. What say you and me cash out? Go somewhere it's more private like. Any questions you...
Wasn't long before the story
Baby, this is... Like I said, to start, I'll comp you the presidential, best suite in the house. You deserve a taste of the VIP lifestyle. I'll hang out down here for a while to make everything look business as usual, then come to you. Any questions you got, I'll answer.
Big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death. About to meet his death.
Why would I do that, baby? And you... Here's the key to...
There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas red and not cleared leather for a...
Did you know the strip's all stirred up lately?
And the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron. When he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
The women of New Vegas ask me a lot if there's a Mrs. New Vegas. Well, of course there is. You're her. And you're still as perfect as the day we met. We've got some news for you coming right up. A hostage crisis between the NCR and the Great Khans was resolved peacefully when a third-party negotiator successfully secured the hostages' release. Moving on. NCR officials at Camp McCarran were relieved when technical difficulties with its monorail line to the New Vegas Strip proved easy to fix. One anonymous official told us a serious mechanical failure would have been a disaster because of the age of the train and the scarcity of the replacement parts. We'll have more news for you at the top of the hour. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
irrepressible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me. You can bet just as sure as you live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. When an irrepressible smile such as yours warms an old implacable eye. Fight, 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 fight it with all of our might. Chances are some heavenly star-spangled night we'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. New Vegas. Thank you very, very much for listening. We've got some news for you coming right up. The Helios 1 solar power plant remains dormant despite NCR's effort to reactivate.
Baby, this little meet and greet of ours, chalk me up as a no-show. It would be 41 flavors of stupid to let you get a drop on me. And you've caused plenty of... You've forced my hand. Hell, I gotta skip town because of you. A real pain in the caboose.
From Nipton in recent days causing concerns that the isolated town may be in trouble. Those are our stories for this hour. This is Mr. New Vegas signing off. Just kidding.
A lifelong learner is you, eh?
My love for you
Then make your questions count, because your lifelong is running life short.
I'd like to play one of my very favorite songs for you.
All this is just work ethic run wild? That's your line? You get it through your thick skull to leave me and the chip alone? If bullets can't get through, what hope is there?
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle.
God damn it. I'm actually gonna... Scramsville, baby. The stripping you part ways, dig? You come around me again, you won't be getting back up.
And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell. Though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fell. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle, as I go riding merrily along. They sing, oh, and that song ain't so very far from wrong.
Hey, there's the high roller.
The eyes of the mighty Kaisar are upon you. He admires your accomplishments and bestows upon you the exceptional gift of his mark. Any crimes you may have perpetrated against the Legion are hereby forgiven. Kaisar will not extend this mercy a second time. My lord requires your presence at his camp at Fortification Hill. His mark will guarantee your safe conduct through our lands. Incidentally, it will interest you to know that the man you seek has fled the Strip and is likely making haste for Kaisar's camp as we speak.
Though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fly. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
Seek Kaisar by way of Cottonwood Cove, south of Nelson. The Courser Lukuluth will be waiting.